that beautiful?
Try a bit of squid, I think. Still frozen. Bloody frozen. Good thing. It's had a dab, so let's just put the packaging back. Now I've got a little ice box in there. Help it a bit. I'm just going to set it on a 5.0 Graphex. Bit of cotton around it. You can see that very well. Approaching an hour before high water, so you never know. You could. Just had a dab, so let's just so what you do is you just pull it through, just go through several times. You can see that very well. Quite a short snood this one, but it shouldn't really make a lot of difference. Final one, just go through the head a bit. Pull it out. I always like to leave my hook like so, completely exposed. So when he picks it up, it's completely clear. And all I do, all I do is grab it. Grab some cotton, just want a little bit on, and I sort of do like that. Plenty of cotton on, just to sort of keep its shape around the head, and just snap it off, and there you go. Look at that. So one hook, completely clear, like that. For a fish to pick up. A good fish. I say good fish, I say a bad. Testing. Don't know if you can see them very well, the rod tips. I think I had a bite on the left hand rod. It's approaching high water, it's a good time. But I'm going to have a spell where I'm probably going to not do any fishing at all for a couple of hours on the ebb, the top half of the ebb. I'm probably not going to do much at all. I've got tons of bait, I've dug loads. Probably got enough for tomorrow. I've had one dad, but I've only wound it in once. So let's see what we got, if we got anything at all. Right, so we're just the wind's getting up. There's a bloody seagull there. Bugger off. These ones are quite bloody. They're not shy. You hear that rain and wind coming. Hopefully I've got enough stones around the brolly, otherwise. So what we'll do, well, piss off. Back off, bloody things. What these gulls are doing. A bloody nuisance. I've never known anything quite like it. There's nothing. There's no food. Not I'm aware of. Right, let's put these. Now this is the reason why I have brought my beach buddy. The John Holden beach buddy, for this very reason. Pissing down with rain. I'm here till midnight. Here till the bottom of the tide. I'm going to fish till the turn, till it turns. So whether that's about 12:30, we'll see if I've had enough by then. And we've had, how many dabs have we had? We've had 1, 2, about 3 dabs, a couple of whiting and a pouting on the top half of the incoming tide. For about, I fished from about an hour before high, started baiting up. It's just, I wasn't even going to bother fishing, I was just going to, because it's this ebb I'm after. I think it might start to do now. So, fresh bait is key. Fresh bait is on it now. See, if you don't come, and it weighs a lot more to bring a beach buddy and all that, but if you don't bring it, I mean that was, as you can see from the pictures, from the video, the bright sunshine, and now look at it. Yeah. So, there you go, there you go. There's a wreck, I don't know if you can see it out there. There's a little mast, that's that yacht. I wasn't sure where it was, I'm probably a little bit too close to it, however, we will look to sort of, you know, cast beyond it, so to speak. But at least I know where it is now, before it gets dark. Double shot. Double shot of dabs. That is lugworm tipped with fresh Californian Lund squid. Oh, sorry, royal squid. Dab. Dab. So. Probably get it snagged. There's some snag out here. There's a wreck. Got washed up along this beach last autumn. Yacht. So we'll see. We'll see. try and get this back. Well, so far so good. That's like that. Something in it. That's a flatfish or something. There's a flatfish there, I think, unless he's come off. Or a rockling or something. We have a flatfish. Just gently. Or a sole or something. Sole! Sole! Oh, dear. Have dab, I think. Little dab. I'll get wet feet before I even start. We'll be alright. Approaching high tide. That sound of the waves, beautiful. We have some fish. We've got a dab. Oh, tide's coming in. See, that's the dab. Beautiful, quite a nice one. Worth that way. Okay. Tide. So lead lifter, 7 ounce lead lifter, number 1 on 15. £5 line, and we've got another size one, and a sorry looking bit of lugworm. So I might, with that sorry bit of lugworm, I might just put on another one, because you'd basically be fishing with bugger all on there. By the time I cast it out, there'll be nothing left. The worm, which is a bit tougher, like that one. Like that. So 2 days, 1 pound. Got old squid later on. So we've got in here, I've got my cotton and I've got plenty of lug in there, and they were dug today, so they should be right. So there you go. How cold are they? Squid, look, big squid. Royal brand. Don't forget my sandwiches. Right, let's see what we got. Set me free, why don't you, babe? Get out of my life, why don't you, babe? Oh, God, fuck me. Keep it coming. Digging in a bit. Way out. There might be something there splashing in the surface, look. So we've had so far, we've had 2 dab, 1 pout, and there's definitely something there splashing amongst my lead. Whether he's on now, I don't know. Yes, it looks like whiting. Bloody whiting. Okay. Okay. Pissing down with rain over there. Anyway, let's see what we got. whiting I've ever caught. Look at that. Look how he's got tangles up. And look at this dab. Look at that. Just lip hooked. Just lugworm. Beautiful. It's a fair pelt. Let's get him back. Oh yeah, no, lovely. Yeah, lovely. Oh, he's got a funny look. Nice net. Okay, he's going back. First the wind and then the rain. So we're gonna put our bib and brace on. Wind a squeeze. Got it. Just getting it out of the bloody sand is it's a tough one. I got a spare reel. As you can see, the spigot's sort of it's working a bit loose, and we got a bugger all probably. In the dark, I'm going to change over to put a whole one on. Oh, squiddle. A squiddle. Nothing. Been peg it to death. Well, get a food fish. Cast this before we get all wet back. So we load it up on the corner of the spigot. And just sort of seeing what's there really. I'm not really expecting anything at this stage of the tide. It's just starting to go down, but we've got plenty of bait, so I'm just going to flick it out and see what happens. Might have to stop fishing with one of them, because there's just no point chucking good bait away when you can load up with good bait over the good period. That's the situation. That's the situation.
There's that wreck out there. Got to steer clear of that. Put the jack on. Make sure the line is above high. Make sure the rod is high and the line is tight and it's high. Today you've got a swell there of about a metre or so, and when that set face there, if that's getting above a metre, sometimes, you know, if you get bigger than that, sometimes it can send your main line into the sand, chafe it all up, and sometimes when you're winding back and you're trying to break it out at the bottom, if you're using like 12, 15, 18, well 18's probably right, 15 to 12 pound, you can get a breakage there because of it's doing that. But if you can keep the rod high enough, it don't really matter what the surf is doing. But there you go, just a little point there. Monstrous. Break out the bottom, you son of a bitch, that's coming. That's coming. There's a few dabs about anyway. I'm not sure what keeper size is for a dab. I'll have to look it up. But the ones out there have been small, but I've heard you get quite a few small ones here. Might be one on it now actually, because it's come right to the surface with the lid lifter. See it? A little dab on there, I think. There it is. It's a dab. Well, doesn't seem to matter. Is it a dab or what is this? Yes it is. Plenty of dabs here. Yeah, dab. Rough bag. Tail to head, rough. Oh yeah. Not a monster, see if we can get the... What's he done with the hook? There it is. I don't know if it's done him a lot of good, but got wet feet. Wet feet. This ain't got bloody pretty shitty. It's a bloody rockling. Bloody rockling, mate. Look at this stuff. Different species anyway. say 80% of it is negative force. That's what I would say. Ta-ting! It just popped off. condition. Look at that. Look at that. Some sort of helicopter, sort of plane. That is some sort of a military chopper. I've never seen anything like it. Look, it's coming back round. Incredible. Anyway, back to fishing. Coming round, isn't it? Now to the squid. Ah, there we go. Pouting and a whiting. Pull this up a little bit. Back. It's a shame the bloody light goes. It's not the same family. Pout and a white, good live bait. Pout and then bring a bucket. Put him back. Oh, look at that hook out. Ah, okay. Bloody hooks everywhere. Come here, you bloody thing. Oh, whiting! Right. So we've had, God knows how many whiting. Where's the other hook gone? There's another hook down there. We'll do one at a time. One at a time. Bigger one. Oh. One. size 1 hook. It's been the Dab Slayer. Just going to turn the lighting down a little bit because I don't want it to burn out. 3's alright. So, nip off the tails full of sand. Depends how big the lug is, you know, you really want to put a couple on there. Really? Lugworm! Put them bad boys on. Do the lead. That's alright. Like that, there's something else to do. Let's move this down. Squid head. Not too much has been grabbing that. I might just it does slow the bloody cast down, that's the only thing. Careful about pulling it off as well. Be careful not to pull it into your fingers. There's a 4-0 there, and you do not want that in your fingers. Pull up the snot, you don't need that. Put a bigger one on because we're just trying to keep a few of the smaller fish off the hook if there's a bass there, you see. The difference between a bass turning up just a few seconds after a whiting's grabbed it or something, and maybe he's not totally hungry to grab the whiting, or a flatfish has just grabbed it. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, I find if you fish bigger hooks you generally won't get a lot else, just the scratching fish. But fishing lugworm, that is sometimes is the difference between hooking up to a bass, not, but that's it, that's a good bass bait, that is. Just straight lug. Let me just shut that down a minute. It's gone a little bit quieter. There's been a few more dabs at range, and when there's been a lot more water at the venue, i.e. sort of the top half of the tides.
Ladies and gentlemen, just playing with the light a little bit. Last light. Okay. So we're just approaching the bottom of the tide. I think it's like an hour and a half before low, something like that. So we've had, on the way down and just an hour of it going up, we've had about 6 dabs, 6 whiting, a couple of pout, and a rockling. So all in all, we've been catching fish. You know, can't always have £10 cod and £10 bass off the beach. So yeah, but yeah, it's, you know, the best. It's a good part of the tide coming now. So we'll just see what unfolds. We've got squid, we've got lug, still got plenty of bait left. The rag's been used up, but yeah, it's just watching them old rod tips now. See if anything else unfolds. Let's see what this light is like. Down here or something. Can't really. Yeah, so if it's better. Oh well, we'll just have to see how that pans out. I like the light. Right, let's put you away. Oh man. Sound of the waves, beautiful. That's, oh, what time is it? Oh. I think slow tide. So you never know, something might happen over low, but usually the tide change for me is when suddenly it goes from not getting anything to within the space of 5 minutes after the tide change, bang. Beautiful, eh? Beautiful. I'll just pan it around. I'll just pan it around gently. Wind farms out there. Dark sky. Can't see a lot. What can you see there? Not a lot, not a whole lot. Right, that'll do it. Right, so yeah, I don't know what to say really. Forgot my head torch, which is not clever, but you can manage with a good base light. You can manage. I can anyway. However, managed to retrieve my other gear in, so for a moment there I wasn't even fishing. I had two sets of gear on the side. I've done that before years ago, but it just goes to prove you, if you lose your concentration or you just can't see what you're doing, you end up casting in the same spot and you you know, leave your gear washing around in the surf. And I've got a lot of bloody mace snotweed in here, but I'm actually getting quite tired fishing 2 rods, getting older now, and sometimes it's more effective to be fishing fresh bait just with 1 rod. So I might actually call it a night with this rod and pack it away. But if I could just get this out, then I could just bait up again. But it's nice snotweed's got it. So it's got into a bit of a tangle, and it's got weed in there as well. So I'm not quite sure. So I've got, see, when you're doing shit like this, you're not actually doing what you should be doing, which is enjoying it. So I just cannot get this weed out. It's all bunched in there. So I might grab a set of pliers. If I just put the rod away, I'll be saying, oh, I could have just got it out. I could have just sort of, so very gently just pluck at it. May snotweed, I call this. But this is really bunched in there. I think you wonder how things tangle actually. This might actually damage the line and break off anyway. Yeah, so we're sort of, look at that. Isn't that a beauty? If I had my headlight, that would have never even happened. That's the difference between fishing without a headlight, just keeping an eye on where the line is, me getting cocky and just thinking, oh yeah, I'll just put it there, yeah, I'll put it there, yeah, I'll put it there. And then before you know it, you do one right on top of each other. See, the thing was, the other rig I've got
it's fixed spool, it always casts out further. So I was under the illusion that this was be impossible to happen, even if I put it right in the same angle, because I knew the other one was further out. So what must have happened, wow, we wound it in, that's what happened, and caught the other one. So I might have been fishing that one a bit shorter. See, the bass are in shorter, you see, but I think I might have damaged the line now, which is not very clever. But look at that, they're still there, look, you can see that, look at that little sod. See, these are all things which, you know, these are little battles at night. Everything becomes 10 times harder in the dark. For me, the fishing can be much more rewarding in the dark, but you come with there's a whole host of other problems like this. This is debilitating, this thing, absolutely debilitating on the session. This is completely knocks out of sync. Sometimes it's something like this right at the end of the session where you sort of do need another rod, but sometimes you sort of surrender and say, oh fuck it, we'll just fish one rod, you know. But we're fishing effectively. Even if you've got one rod out, you're fishing very effectively. But look at that, look at it, look at that. What should I call this video? Mace, snotweed, stops us from bloody fishing, basically, enjoying our session anyway. I'm just looking round because for something substantial, usually with a smallish bass you'll get like a dancing tip, or you may even get a drop back, a slack liner. So every few minutes, if you're looking away, you just want to, that's getting better, there you go, we're out, we're out, we're out, we're out. Now I'm caught round there. It's still got some shit on it. Look at that, still there. Look at it. Look at it. That's gone now. It's gone now. Right, we'll try again. Set me free, why don't you, babe? Somebody fishing over there. Car's about 15 minutes away from here. That was a big wave. Going through rollers. Don't know if you can see that very well. Wind's eased off a bit, but this is base camp. And the fish have slowed, but just looking for a bit of few stars out tonight. Yeah, so we are on, this is the biggest tide in the range, and it's the start of the new moon. We've had, I don't know, 6 or 7 dabs, probably 10 whiting, pouting, and a rockling. So it's been pretty, you know, if you put all those fish in your basket and filter them all off, you'd have quite a lot of fish. So if you really needed some fish, I've had them, so I've put them all back. I wonder what them baits would be like for pike fishing. Pouting, whiting. I think they'd take them. I should have kept them, really. I think pike would take them. They would. I mean, fuck, they take mice, they take rats. They eat, well, fish is a fish to them, isn't it? So, It's just that I'd had more confidence using an oily fish for pike. So what we're looking for here, we're looking for a bass bite with usually the tip dances. And a real big bass bite really dances. It will just keel right over and bang, bang, bump, 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 bump. And alternative to that, you can get a classic cod bite, which for the bass as well, a drop back, where all this line will just collapse on the beach. It'll just all coil up on the beach. He's picked up the lead, that's all that means. The fish is hooked, it's on the snood, and he's dislodged the lead from the sand. I was fishing in New Zealand, and a lot of the smooth hound over there, they all give you drop back bites. I caught an elephant fish over there as well, about 10 pounds, and that gave a drop back bite. I think it did, yeah, I'm pretty certain it did. They're eating whole crab, paddle crabs over there. But yeah, the fishing's good over there, but I feel for the shore fishing, especially on the South Island, I think the table fish are better in the UK. I think, but the bass, I don't think you can better that as a sports fish, a table fish as well. And to, you know, the excitement of either catching it on a lure, popper or spinner, or getting it on bait. New Zealand is interesting, but it's I think the UK is you know, I used to take it for granted, but I appreciate it a lot more. So a few of these breakers are starting to right, we're approaching low water now. The only other thing is when the tide suddenly changes. You might get one or two bass coming in close when the tide changes. You get that slack water period where they might be hunting. You just got to keep putting fresh bait out there. It's as simple as that. You don't need a lot of distance for bass. And with regards to yeah, fresh bait, you know, try a yard cast. That's all you need sometimes. Just looking for something unusual. Right, the bait's actually been out there long enough, I think, on one of on the rod next. So it's time to wind in. We have big pout. Look at that. Like a squid tentacle. Look at that. The pout. Oh, I knew he was going to do that. Right, back he goes. What are your pouts about? What's he got there? He's got some sort of... That's where he's been. These off as well.